Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you and the world's all right with me.
I see we had to get the music going to let everybody in before we came into the meeting.
And I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way
for a change,
then I look at you and the world's all right with me. I just want to look at you and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
All right, it looks like there's a meeting change that we had on the back end where everybody's on camera. That wasn't intended, but it's really amazing to see everybody. If you're here, as long as we have this, would everybody who's willing just turn on their camera and let's just say hello?
Yeah. Unmute and say hi. Are they allowed to unmute?
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello, bonsoir.
Hey.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, great tunes.
Great song, right?
Pretty amazing.
This is actually pretty fantastic. I'm really glad that somehow back end glitch happened because this is amazing.
Really glad you accidentally let everybody go on screen.
Holy cow.
I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And I looked and the setting is accurate. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, really?
Very cool.
So we're gonna maybe do a little bit of tap dancing here and try to figure out how to ensure that we've got the focus on the speakers for today. And so we're gonna ask for everybody's cooperation, but we're so glad you're here. And we've got several people in the room, also here in 1500 Jefferson at the DES headquarters. So let's see, we've got somebody, why is Maurice being featured?
He's special like that.
He likes that.
This is definitely going to be an interesting meeting, y'all.
This is going to be an interesting meeting. Stay tuned.
All right. Okay, so while we get started, if you do have the option to have your camera on and your microphone on, please stay muted with the camera off so we can focus on the speakers for today. We may be able to use this to our advantage a little later, though, and bring everybody back on because that was fun.
That was fun.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with a couple of just housekeeping items. I'm flustered. Where's all my notes and everything after that? Okay. First, I just want to, hello, I should introduce myself. My name is Brooke Sutherland. I'm Chief Communications Officer for DES. It's so exciting to be here with you. We love these meetings every quarter. I'm going to make you aware of a couple of things. First, that this session is being recorded. So by attending the meeting, you agree to be part of the recording that will be posted and unlisted on YouTube to be able to share with DES employees. All attendees have their, and for some reason, we didn't intend for everybody's camera to be on. If for some reason that's a problem for you, please reach out to me directly and we'll work with you on that. All attendees have their video and microphones disabled, we thought, but the chat and reactions are open and enabled, so you're welcome to engage in this way during the meeting. You may have a better experience and a connection if you disconnect from your VPN. So if you find that we do have one video and a couple of slides and things, so if you find that that makes it easier, go ahead and do that. And then if you're scheduled to speak today, we may ask you to raise your hand when it's time for you to help your virtual hand so that we can come and find you and give you permissions if you're not able to just turn your camera on all on your own. So. But this will help us get to the producers and behind the scenes. We have several members of our communication division who are helping us do that. It'll help them find you. And then lastly, just to reiterate, the reactions are on. So if our speakers love to know that you're hearing them, that what they're saying resonates with them, the reactions that you have. And so we encourage you to do that at whatever level you're comfortable with. And I'd just like to go ahead and let's do a practice run of that real quick. So everybody throw out whatever reaction you're feeling up there.
I can't see any of them.
Usually they will pop up from the bottom and none of them are there.
Want real ones? Look at the real.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Tara, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you and
Are you
we'll
ready?
do inform section of our meeting.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I was just going to ask for a please let everybody turn on their cameras. And here we are. It was like magic. It happened, whether she wanted it to or not. It was wonderful to see all of those faces all at the same time. And we'll do that again later. So I just want to, well, I should also introduce myself, right? Maybe some of you are new here and you don't quite know me yet, but I'm Tara Smith. I'm your director. And this is the highlight of my day, certainly, but also the last few months for sure. It's been a rough few months for me. Some of you might know why I wasn't able to make it to the last staff meeting. Especially that staff meeting was very important to me to be there because that was the meeting where we rolled out our new mission and vision and values, right? If you missed it, please watch the video. I did watch the video afterward and was a little heartsick about it. But was really happy to see like such a significant milestone for DES and our new mission and vision and values. So I did do a little video afterward to let you hear about that work from me and my own words and my own experience, how important that work has been and continues to be. We still have a lot more work to do around defining these things and rolling them out better to all of you. You'll certainly be hearing more about it if you haven't. If you have, we're going to keep talking about it and listening and learning from all of you as well. For those of you who might already be familiar, you can see the values on the screen. For those of you who might already have had a chance to kind of think about these, let me know what you think. Use that Talk to Tara button and let me know what you think of them, or let me know if you want to talk about them a little bit more and understand them with me. Like, I would be happy to do that. That's what that button is for. And also it does allow you to say things anonymously if you want to. I can't respond to you if it's anonymous, but that's what the button is there for. So this is a little overview of today's meeting. If you haven't been to an all staff before, we tried to structure them so that they're all the same. We're intending today to inform you, connect you, engage you, and inspire you. So first, in the inform connection, I'm going to do a lot of talking. Sorry, bear with me, but this is where I tell you about the things going on in the agency, what I'm spending my time on, making all the announcements, and I'll go on and on. And then in connect, the purpose of that section is to connect all of you with each other, to help you see the different programs across this agency that you might not be familiar with, and connect with each other across this huge, vast agency. And engage, you'll see our Chief Operations Officer, Maurice, somewhere in the world. He shows up at a different work site every meeting, and we get a chance to learn a little bit about that program that he's engaging with. And then at the end, we'll get inspired by our Chief Transformation Officer, Pam Duncan, which is such a pleasure. So I'm going to head straight into now the informing section of our agenda, where I like to start with my favorite part, and that's recognition. So I have a few different people here to recognize, and I'm going to start with our very own Assistant Director, Mary Jane Kirk, who is in the room at the Jefferson Building.
Right now.
Right here. Let's applaud as she walks to the front.
We have a little special ceremony we want to do here, so Mary Jane, come on up.
Mary Jane Kirk.
So everyone can
Check
see.
it out.
There you are. Show it out to everybody.
I love it. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. She's such a good sport for wearing that necklace. Mary Jane and I were together at NASCA a few months ago, where she received this national award for being a government operations champion. NASCA is the National Association of State Chief Administrators. So these are our other administrators like me doing my job across this country, where we all have similar challenges and we provide those backbone services to governments. And Mary Jane was awarded as a government operations champion because of the work and leadership that she provides to this agency. And it just so happened we were at the Indianapolis Speedway, which she's a big fan of, and I couldn't help but notice that bling, and she's such a good sport for wearing it. And now it becomes the thing that she passes around her division when there's people to be recognized. So congratulations, Mary Jane. I am so proud of you, not just because of the operations that you run every day, the biggest division in this agency, but because I see you regularly leading with love. Right? That value that we're starting to learn about and talk about, that is something I definitely see coming from you in so many ways. So thank you for that. Is there anything you want to say, Mary Jane?
Thank you, Tara. It's just a pleasure to work for DES and a pleasure to be leading the Business Resources Division, and just really, the support that we have here in this agency is amazing, and just thank you, everybody.
Congratulations. Real applause in the room. The next person that I want to recognize here at the agency level is Joe Norwood. Unfortunately, Joe is on a well-deserved vacation today. But we have a little video from some of his coworkers. Joe won the Governor's Outstanding Leadership Award recently, which is no small thing, just like it sounds. He and I went to the governor's mansion together to receive that award. And I saw in person there why he won an award like that, right? His job is to help people do business with state government. And he does that so well because he has this magnetic personality. So let's see what that video shows about from his coworkers.
I was so happy to hear of Joe Norwood receiving this amazing Government Outstanding Leadership Award, or the GOLA. Joe's customer service is really just top notch. He does amazing things for our division, our agency, other state agencies, and importantly, Washington state businesses. Joe's just absolutely a gift to this agency, our division, and I'm just so happy to know him and to work with him. So congratulations, Joe.
Joe is most deserving of this award. His passion and just his ability to advocate on behalf of the vendor community is just unparalleled. He takes that time, that extra step, and he listens carefully to the issues that our communities face, and he investigates where the gaps are. Take that extra time to just go deeper where we've let systems sit for many, many years and haven't really taken the time to deep dive. And he takes those opportunities and he really, really focuses on where we can be better at as DES. So we can't forget Joe's wonderful and infectious smile. Thank you, Joe. Congratulations and well deserved.
Joe Norwood, congratulations, man, on your Governor's Outstanding Leadership Award. Rightly deserved. You know, Joe, since I've worked with you the last about 3.5 years, I've noticed that your popularity is due not just in state government, but also in the community. And it's due to you ensuring that the customers that you're trying to help have thorough and accurate information so that they can succeed. And you always do it with a smile on your face and in your heart. So congratulations, Joe. Well done.
Greetings, Joe. Congratulations on your Governor's Leadership Award. Well deserved for an awesome customer service representative. You always thoroughly help all of the folks that I send your way to register in webs, navigate webs, and look for opportunities. I know that between you and Scott, you help over 500 people each month. So I just want to say thank you for all that you do for our businesses in Washington State.
Joe, congratulations on receiving the Governor's Award. We are so grateful to have you represent contracts and procurement. You go above and beyond with your customer service. You show kindness, patience, and you always have a smile on your face. I'm proud of you. Well deserved, Joe. Celebrate.
Joe really takes customer service to a whole new level. He is an ambassador for our division. Whether you're a big business, a small business, a vendor interested in working with the state, or a state agency in need of help, Joe's the guy to talk to. He's always out there 100% representing for our division. Joe, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for representing us so well, and congratulations on this award.
Congratulations, Joe. That was fantastic. Thank you, everybody who put that together for him. And we have one more recognition. Last, but certainly, definitely not least, and this is circling back to Mary Jane Kirk again, because there have been, let me count them, hold on, 1, 2, at least 2, if not 3 awards by the Fleet Services program within Mary Jane's division, which, if you don't know, is the Business Resources Division, again, the largest division in this agency. And 2 awards, right? Mary Jane, do you want to read those out?
Sure, I'm happy to do that. So during the NCSFA, which is the National Conference of State Fleet Administrators, Fleet Operations was recognized for their environmental leadership. They received the Environmental Leadership Award. So congratulations.
Courtney and Michael.
And also, we received kind of a notable honorable mention in Government Fleet Magazine for leading fleets. So we've got Michael and Courtney here. I don't know if either one of them would like to just take a moment and speak about those awards, but really happy to be representing them today and for all of the achievements that they're making.
Michael, Courtney, any quick words?
Yeah, sorry, my mic was muted there. Yeah, our team is amazing. I actually wanted a chance, Brooke, forgive me. I'm going to take 30 seconds from you. I wanted to list off every single person who works on our department because this award belongs to every single person. We do nothing by ourselves here.
Go for
David,
it.
Cindy, Mike, Kevin, Stephen B, John, Peyton, Josh, Flip, Chris, Nadine, Desiree, Joey, Andrew, David J, Soren, Ken, David W, Victor, Justin, Tony, Ted, Stephen, Dylan, Jared, and Stephen M, Brandon, Sean, plus historic contributions from, I wanted to mention Pat Aga, Brian Bizard, and Kent Winger. We are one big team. You are all amazing. This belongs to you.
100% echo Michael's thoughts. And the only thing I wanted to add was just a little bit of background around that award, the NCSFA. So for those who don't know, the National Conference of State Fleet Administrators, that is all state governments across the nation, including colleges and universities. So the award that DES Fleet Operations won this last year was the Environmental Leadership Award. And that's just all of the big movement that this entire team has done in fleet electrification, helping pave the way, if you will, on different policies and how to partner with agencies. And as of today, 27% of just DES's fleet is electric. So big kudos to the team. A lot of work went behind that. So
yeah. When I got here, we were at 3%, right? Huge improvements in fleet, and it shows. I had the pleasure of hanging out with them the other day, and it was a lot of fun. I won't tell you what electric vehicles are highest rated or not. I got the inside scoop. So thank you, all of you, and BRD and Mary Jane, for your leadership. I'm going to shift to the next thing in my inform section here, the part where I go on and on, to talk just about a couple announcements, 2 things. First of all, you may have heard that we recently completed an employee engagement survey. I'm going to talk about that for, I think I get 2 minutes to talk about that. And there's we have a special ambassador, your director's official office kitty, Starlight, would like to thank you for taking the survey. If you missed her video, that's a shame, because she's adorable. And she's not here right now because she's I was waiting for her picture to come up. She's not here right now because she's completely
Nick had the machine has been in a lot of trouble today, so we're struggling with the slides.
That's okay.
We got you. There we go.
Starlight also is always in trouble, that little stinker. As your official office kitty, she did ask me to thank you for completing the survey. The numbers really did go up after her video, so thank you for that. We hit 80% participation. So 8 out of 10 people across this agency took the time to make their voice heard, and she was really impressed by that. Thank you all. It's a little down from last year, but 5 different programs achieved 100% participation. So every single person, and it's on the screen here, communications, thank you. The EAP program, thank you. ETS, human resources, and surplus. Every single one of you and those programs completed the survey, and it just means so much to me, because like, how else do you have your voice heard? There's a few, we try to create a lot of different pathways for that, but taking the time to put your feedback and experience in the survey adds to the statewide data that is collected every year. As you know, this is a statewide survey. I'm excited to get the results, which are going to be out sooner than ever. They finally updated their software program. So instead of waiting until like March for results, we get the results in like just a few weeks. So that gives us opportunity to review them at the leadership level better, for all of you to understand that your voice was heard, and to get our program managers across the agency on board with what we're doing really well and what needs to change here. We'll talk about change in a little bit too. Yeah, way to go, Surplus. I concur 100%. I do want to point out, Starlight reminded me that one of the features of the survey that was different this year, to my surprise, was that there was no ability for you to leave an open-ended comment, right? Usually at the end of all the questions, you can provide comments. And I have read every single one of those comments in years past. They are very revealing and informative about what this experience in DES is really like, that a survey doesn't always capture. So instead of that feature this year, we're hoping to bring that back, but instead of it this year, use the Talk to Tara button. That button, you can tell me your name and email address if you want me to respond. But if you don't, like I said earlier, it also lets you say something anonymously, which is what the survey also allows for. So please use it. I will read it. And where there's something that I can change or answer for you, I'll be following up with different ADs across the agency, depending on what your issue is. So please use it. I'm excited to see those results. And then the last thing that I have on my list of things to announce is a little phenomenon that we're calling video audits. Some of you know exactly what I mean, and some of you may not know at all what I mean by that. So I wanted to take just a few minutes to talk about it here because it has risen to my level. These are folks showing up at our in-person workplaces with video cameras to record what's happening in state government, as is their right to do. And that's okay. These are all public spaces, right? But a lot of these interactions, not just in DES, but this is happening across a dozen different agencies right now. A lot of these interactions are turning into something else, right? Rather than just asking for a public record, they come across sometimes, not always, as aggressive and disruptive and disrespectful. And that's where lines are crossed in my book. And I will always get involved when things are happening repeatedly that are impacting my staff. So I have had some conversations with other agency directors, our Attorney General's office, about the lines that are being drawn and how, we're doing our part to respond to these folks and make sure that they have open access to government. That's something that we actually hold very dear here in DES. But there are lines when it turns into disruption and disrespect. So there's more to come on that. We do have some trainings that we've offered to those programs that are experiencing this already, but we've seen them showing up in new spaces recently. So with the expectation that these auditors, I don't know a better word that's probably the right word to use, that they are going to continue showing up in different work sites. We want to be ahead of it, help you feel prepared to handle them when you encounter, if you encounter them. Trainings have already been provided and will continue to be provided, and we're scheduling a lunch and learn soon. So trying to catch you in all the different ways that we can to help you feel ready and prepared for these scenarios when and if they come up. So I will move on then. That completes the part where I go on in the informed section of the agenda, right, Brooke?
Well, I mean, you can't leave yet. Well, actually, you are going to leave. We're going to Tara has got to step out for a minute, but much more later on. Now we're going to move into the next section, which is Connect. This is where we do a feature of what we call We Are DES. Hopefully, many of you have seen the We Are DES features on in our newsletter, where we feature a single employee and what they do for work, how their work connects to our mission, something a little bit personal about them, the way that they like to spend time, or fun facts, that kind of thing. And those are really popular. People really enjoy them. And this version of it at our all staff meetings is a way to get to know our programs a little bit more and the way that their work interacts and leads up to our mission. And so we're going to go ahead and feature two programs today, two areas today, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Tara and Pam, to introduce this. And so next section, here you go.
Should we go ahead and do the OST part or the S&P part? Because I have to leave in at 1:40 exactly, quickly. So that gives
We should
10
go
minutes.
ahead and do, I believe, the S&P part. I
Okay.
think that you would
Okay.
cut short if we
Okay,
needed to.
Pam,
So,
I'm gonna leave that to you.
Okay, thank you, Tara. Hi, everyone. I wish I could be in the room with everyone so I could see you all, but I am here and I am waving at you all. I'm Pam Duncan. I am the Chief Transformation Officer, and I am here actually to introduce a wonderful team, a small but mighty team, a great team. They do amazing things. And I am going to start that out by introducing the Strategy and Performance Manager, Heidi Lovall. Isn't that a wonderful name? Hello, Heidi. It's so good to see you. First of all, I just want to know, how are you feeling today? And yeah.
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. My voice is a little spotty. I've asked some other people to speak for me at times, but I'm here and happy to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. And take it easy. Take it easy. You know, play tag someone else when your voice is like, hey, I can't do anymore. You all of DES, you are about to be introduced to some wonderful people. And I am going to turn it over to Heidi, actually, to lead off that conversation. So take it away, Heidi.
Thank you so much. So we are gonna just take a few minutes to really talk about what it is we are and what we do, who we are and what we do. And then just for funsies, since we are a small but mighty team, we are going to introduce ourselves one at a time. But first, we want to talk about strategy and performance. Our name is vague and mysterious, so lots of folks ask us, "What does you actually do?" And Paul is going to kick it off for us by talking about our mission, our team's mission, and how it connects to the agency mission. Take it away, Paul.
Thanks, Heidi. Hopefully, you can all can hear me. Paul Houle. Been leading this team for a few years. Super team, amazing group of consultants with a breadth of experience in management, leadership, analytics, training, continuous improvement, lean, change management, all kinds of cool stuff. But what you're about to see on the screen here is a little bit about what we do. S&P is like a miniature of DES. So if DES strengthens the business of government out there, for this sustainable and just future, that's our mission as an organization. DES does that, S&P does that for the agency. So go ahead and pop up on the screen if you would. Yeah. So just a little bit about our passions. We really are committed to continuous improvement. So when we talk about strengthening, like how does anybody get stronger? How does anything get stronger? You continuously improve, right? Look in any sphere of life, and continuous improvement drives getting stronger, drives expanding your capability. Getting stronger enables us to help the organization, which helps the state. Expanding our capability helps the organization, helps the state be more sustainable at delivering that. We talk about advancing strategies, which is a lot about creating hypotheses. What should we try next? What can we learn? How can we learn from what we've maybe not done as well in the past, or something we've really done well in the past, and expand that into the future? So that's about strengthening the business. And then the last piece that I'll call out here is about culture and a just future. A lot of us are rooted in lean, which is about respect for people. We want to respect those that we serve by continuously delivering better quality, more cost-effective, more timely services to them, and that is showing respect for them. We also want to show respect for those for us internally by ensuring we have more meaningful work, value creative work, so that we can all have deep pride in what we do as public servants for the sake of Washingtonians. So that's S&P, a microcosm of the agency as a whole, and I'll turn it over to Eden to share more about what we do and our history.
Thank you. Eden Teachout, hello. So do we skip a slide? there was a slide that had our division history. So we have actually undergone a few name changes in our history. So some of you can remember this. We actually started out as Lean Transformation Services. Those are our origins. And so we have never stopped offering those services. They remain our foundation today, but we have always offered tools and support for both continuous improvement and respect for people. At some point, we expanded our offerings further and became organization development services. And that was a time when we were placing a stronger emphasis on really being human-centered. So this is when the big three, if any of you are familiar with that, the customer satisfaction, team satisfaction or team health, and financial health all became kind of cornerstones of how DES does business. And then most recently, we have become strategy and performance. Again, this was an expansion. And this was really about highlighting our ability to support teams all the way from the strategic planning, the big stuff, down to the daily tools and resources, the little stuff, with people at the center of all of those improvements. So hopefully this kind of shows you that we've never stopped offering anything that we do. Sometimes our focus has changed, but we continue to expand what it is that we offer. And the next slide shows a little bit more about what I'm talking about. So this is the Lean Government Framework. Big shout out to Daryl Damron, who was one of the primary authors of this, and he's got even other versions of this. But what it does is it really outlines important components of a successful organization, and it shows why we offer the services that we do. This framework sort of serves as a lens through which we can partner with and examine business operations. So I'll give a little brief overview of it. Purpose is really about helping you know the value that you provide to your customers and then set strategic direction to achieve a desired future state. Process is about having efficient and effective ways to deliver that value. Capability is about growing our people so they can be their personal best every single day. Management systems are about building routines and structures and metrics that help us see the performance, help us see problems, and make good decisions on a daily basis. And then, of course, we have mindset. Again, keeping people at the center of everything we do. It's clarifying, who are we? What do we believe? What do we value? And so what this looks like when we think about this framework, what this looks like in terms of how we partner with clients, it's really about coaching and consulting and providing tools and services to both run your business and also grow your people. And this list is long. It's certainly not all inclusive about what we offer, but hopefully it gives you a flavor for some of the things that you might reach out to us for. And whether it's process improvement, problem solving, change management, listening to understand, right? We're here to partner with you, and it can be for just one little thing, or it can be for many things. So I do want to highlight two examples because I love giving shout outs to teams. These are two examples of teams that S&P has partnered with. And if you think about it, we help them sort of get started on a journey, get started on one of those elements in the Lean Government Framework. And they have kept those fires burning long after they had that more intense engagement with us. So under customer and team satisfaction, I want to do a highlight for finance. Finance was actually the first division to do customer and team satisfaction work with S&P. So other divisions had worked with an outside consultant, but we were sort of the first ones to go through this together. And I will say 5 years later, they are still listening to customers and team members using systems that they have adapted based on what they learn. We're here, S&P is here on standby to sort of consult as needed, but finance is really kind of fully functional on their own with this. And it's really been fun to watch. They've had strong scores since the very beginning, but they've still managed to achieve increases. And you can see here that from 2018 to 2022, they've increased satisfaction scores for each one of their customer expectations, anywhere from 7 to 14%. And similarly, they've done that with team satisfaction scores as well, anywhere from 3.5 to 9% increases. They're not all linear increases. We're not talking to the same people every time. But what I love about this is that the concept is they continue to learn, they continue to listen, they continue to improve. And they're doing that long after the work that we initially partnered with them on. The other one that I want to give a shout out to is the internal contracts unit, and this is around process improvement. So in 2016, S&P started working with contracts. There was no internal contracts unit, if you can imagine that. And that was something that the team really thought was probably a good idea. Leadership at that time was not quite sure that was the right direction to go. We collected and analyzed data that really showed that creating that unit dedicated to internal contracts was going to increase efficiency and quality and customer satisfaction. And that unit was born, led by Brent Duncan, still there, woohoo, shout out to you. They really jumped into the concepts and the tools of continuous improvement and did all kinds of work, revamping internet pages, developing a tracking tool, standard work, you name it. And the numbers here can show you the fruits of their labor. S&P actually sort of winnowed out or disengaged near the end of 2017, and the team has continued to just rock it. So what I want you to know from this is that we are here to help you get started. We'll stay with you as long as you need us, and we are all about building capability, not dependence. And these are groups that really illustrate their capability was built and they're off rocking it on their own. I'm going to turn it back over to introduce the team. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Eden. S&P members, either come on camera or make your way to the podium, as the case may be, if you haven't already. And we're going to run through our team members. There's a little bit of information about each of us on the slide, but we're going to answer one question, and that is, what is your favorite way to spend a workday? Starting with Melissa.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks for having our team here today. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Melissa Harris. On your screen, it might say Brooke, but I'm in the room with everyone, so not on my own computer. I am one of the S&P consultants. I've been with DES for about 6 years and mostly spend my time supporting the Buildings and Grounds division. Woo woo. Thank you. And my favorite way to spend a day is working with a team around doing work around self-awareness, personal and professional development. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be here. My name is Diana Huriavi, and my favorite way to spend the day is I love helping teams build better processes, better relationships while they find ways to streamline and modernize their processes. So that's the way I love to spend my days.
Hello, my name is Edgar Rivera. I am one of the S&P consultants. I've been on the team for a little over a year now, and I have been assigned a business and resource division to directly support. But I love to help and support as many people as I can, and to be of value to others. And I love spending my a day just doing just that, being able to problem solve, be part of the team, in it with them, and helping them reach their goals in any way I can. Thanks.
I think it's me again now, right?
Yep.
There we go. Okay. So my ideal workday would probably have a couple different features. It would include running a workshop with a group that's like really eager to learn or solve a problem and dig in and get dirty. Love that. And then I'd have a section of the day where I would kind of sit by myself analyzing a pile of data or conducting research, because introverts need alone time to recharge. So that would be my ideal workday. Thank you.
Thank you. As I said, I'm Heidi Lovall. My ideal workday would also have two parts like Eden. I would start off with developing some kind of learning opportunity for people. Love to help people learn, especially when we get to design it from scratch. And then the second part would be tackling a new problem, designing systems that help people make their work better and easier on themselves. Those are my favorite ways to spend a day.
Hey, everyone, back to me, Paul Hool. Boy, there's a common theme here. For me, as I was thinking about favorite way to spend a day, it's about really solving problems. So unearthing the real roots underneath problems, especially complex problems, and figuring out, okay, what countermeasures, what can we try that addresses that root? And the cool thing about that is that if you really get to it, you're going to be forever changed, and you leave that problem in the rearview mirror. There's plenty of problems coming. There's plenty more opportunities, but it represents real growth, real improvement, and you get to see that happen. So that's kind of my passion. That's what I love to do in a fun day. And then I'll introduce our other team member who's not here today, Annalise D'Angelo, who's actually out on leave right now. And I'm trying to think, some of the times I've talked to them about what they enjoyed about their day. They also enjoyed problem solving and really making sense of complex things. So that was something that was that they enjoyed. And I'll add a fun fact, because Annalise and I share a fun fact. We're different generations. We're different in so many different ways, but Annalise and I actually are both what I would describe as OG Army. So we're huge. For those unfamiliar, there's a K-pop group called BTS out of Korea. They're internationally known. I sent my daughter to their first concert in Los Angeles like 7 years ago. And Annalise just went last year to Korea to visit the museum. I mean, we're both super passionate Army fans, or BTS fans. So, fun fact. And with that, I just want to thank everyone on behalf of the team. Just really want to appreciate the opportunity you all give us to help you improve and help all of us improve what we do as public servants, strengthening the business of government so we can improve the lives of Washingtonians. Go JK. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
All right, Heidi, Paul, don't go anywhere yet. Heidi, come back, come back.
Yes, ma'am.
One of the things, we have a couple minutes until Tara's able to return. And so I was reading as you were going through the presentation, I was able to read your fun facts at the bottom, but there was some real magic in some of those. And so I want to go back and actually have a chance to read those out loud for people. So if everybody is willing who just introduce themselves to come back up and tell us a little bit about their little fun, because there were some gems in there. So I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. Can you share that again, Heidi?
Do we want to go in reverse order?
Yeah, sure. Go backwards. All right, Paul. Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh, 1982. The Olympic, the stadium in Sapporo, Japan is pretty big. I was in a contingency for a third World Peace Culture Festival, and actually I performed to Neil Diamond's America using capes on the entire. Yeah, it was awesome. 8 count.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, demonstration. Amazing.
Okay, Heidi.
Oh, I actually changed my fun fact this morning. I had a different one up there, but late last night, as I was having trouble falling asleep, I found myself, as usual, scrolling through social media and watching these videos where they take these horrendously dirty rugs and pressure wash them and scrub them in all these different ways. I don't know why I find it so soothing, but I can't scroll past them. So this morning I thought maybe I'll confess my guilty pleasure to the division, and I changed this to my fun fact. Maybe others are out there who love these with me.
Very good. Eden, are you? There you are.
I took this second picture out because this was my relationship with technology. Anybody who's worked with me, done listening to understand, they know that technology and I don't get away. I don't get along. I don't know how it stayed in here. So I did win an art contest. It's actually that painting right behind me. It's hanging on the wall. Wow. It took me about 80 hours. It was my very first painting. I was taking an art class in college, and I happened to enter a contest and I won it. So that was pretty cool.
Can we
Eden,
focus
the fact that you go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We want to focus in on see that painting, Eden.
If I can get any closer, I'll disconnect if I do. I don't know how to zoom in. It's a gigantic painting. It's about 3.5 by 3.5 feet, and it's a frog.
Oh, I see it.
I can't get any closer. Sorry.
I've got you featured for everybody, so I think that people should be able to see it. Definitely award-winning material. Nice.
I think the fact that you thought you took your second picture out and it stayed in the PowerPoint anyway is a good demonstration of your relationship with technology. Proves it.
Yep.
Edgar.
I joined the Army when I was 18, and I didn't know. I just kind of signed up for just about anything. I was just adventurous and wanted to get out my house and be independent. And I just signed up for parachute packing. And lo and behold, I needed to jump out of planes for that. I didn't know I needed to do it, but I also didn't know I was scared of heights. Believe it or not, for some silly reason, I didn't really know until I still remember to this day jumping out, and I remember every second of it, and my heart in my chest. And even now, I'm retired after 20 years of doing it and just pushing through. I can't go on high buildings with like big windows. I don't like getting near it. I get that pit in my stomach feeling, nauseated. I don't even like it when my kids are too close to like a bridge, walking bridge. I'm just afraid of heights. I don't know why.
And Diana.
Well, hello, everybody. So
This is the one, Diana, I needed to know about. This is really what was like, okay, we gotta go back.
So I was an exchange student to Fiji Islands and at the University of the South Pacific during, college. And my husband was also an exchange student from Papua New Guinea. So he and I were both exchange students there, and the college president found out about our wedding and tried to stop it because I don't know exactly why, but the bookstore manager happened to know both my husband and myself and talked him down and said, no, you don't want to stop the wedding. It's okay. Back then, in Fiji, women do not have as many rights. So he probably could have stopped my wedding. But many years later, we've got 3 grandchildren. We're still very happily married. So, it all worked out in the end.
Thank you for sharing. All right, who's next? Got Melissa right here. Is she next? Yep, there you go.
Hi. Yeah, so my fun fact is after I graduated from high school, I had entered this competition, or while I was in high school, I entered a competition to be an intern for, I was from Alaska, so for one of the senators in Alaska, and I was one of the seniors chosen. So I got to go to Washington, D.C. for that summer in between high school and college. An amazing experience. I've been on the Senate floor. I've been all over the Capitol building. I got to work, help try to draw up a bill for a recycle program in the state of Alaska. And by the way, they still do not have a recycling program. So that's frustrating, but I tried working on it a long time ago. I'm sure others have too, but it was an incredible experience. It was my first time in DC. So not just the experience of being part of being exposed, I guess, to the government and systems there, but also just being able to see DC and all the monuments and museums and spending time with these other interns from all over the state of Alaska and getting to know. Really fun. That's all I got.
Thank you. Did we get everybody?
Yep, that's all of us.
All right. Thank you all for coming back on and doing that. That was fun.
Yeah, thanks, Brooke.
All right, so Tara should be joining us any minute if she's not already here. I think that she would come on camera if she were. So I'm not good at anything if not winging it. So we're gonna go ahead and do another little activity. We do these presentations for We Are DES often, and we have an opportunity for employees to submit suggestions to nominate people for the We Are DES feature in our newsletter. And so I would like to give you the opportunity right now in the chat, or in whatever way is comfortable for you, but I would love to see it in the chat for what program you are interested, what business line, what division you are interested in learning more about at DES. I want to see what thoughts people have. What's the biggest mystery or the thing that you would like to really be featured and focused and learn more about, or get the recognition or celebration that they deserve. Ready, go. There we go. There was getting some coming.
HR. What?
No, I gotta hear HR.
HR.
Do you, we have 2 minutes. Do you want to?
You are so on your own.
So we've got lots of mentions here for FPS. Emily, we might put you in charge of that. and some real estate services, public works, also FPS, lots of things there. Ooh, EED, that's a great one. Everybody know what that is? Equity and Employment Development, or yes, I said it right. That's newest division. Tara, we're just getting some suggestions in the in the chat for programs people would like to see featured at our next all staff. So we've got collecting some rich information. All right, my phase of winging it is over, and I'm going to hand it back over to you two now for the Office of Strategic Transformation.
Perfect, Brooke. Thank you. I am excited about this next conversation as part of our Connect section of the agenda, because again, I'm always looking for ways to connect you on this end of the agency with those of you on that end of the agency. There's so many vast things and moving parts in between that this is another opportunity I'm always going to take to help connect you with the work that this agency is doing, but not just in programs that you've heard about before or that you may have heard something about, but in this case, we're going to talk, Pam and I are going to talk about a new program that has been born, so to speak, since she's been here in her leadership role. So the Office of Strategic Transformation, OST, you may or may not have heard about that, depending on one thing, largely, depending on whether you're one of the few people on that team under her leadership, or also depending on how well you read my emails, which is dubious. And I get that. I'm trying to do more videos and things to help folks absorb information from leaders without having to read a 4-page email. But in case you missed it, the Office of Strategic Transformation is new and small and mighty, like Heidi said about the S&P team, and really instrumental in the transformative work that's happening in the agency right now. So we're going to do a little like Q&A session, just Pam and I wanted to set the stage first with let's start with why. Right? I literally have that book next to me at my desk all the time, Start With Why, so that to help you understand why, when I got here, I saw the need for this type of role. This is a new role that has not existed in this agency before. And yes, I could have just filled the vacant deputy director position and moved on with my life. And that would have been easier, honestly. But easy isn't the reason I show up and do things here when there's human beings involved. I'm always looking for the best outcome for the people involved doing the work here. So for me and my experience, what I learned and saw when I came here, I kept that deputy director position vacant for a full year. I don't know if you remember that, and had almost all of the agency reporting up directly or through the COO to me. And that was exhausting, but also really revealing it and helped me understand, have a better view of where we're doing really well and where different parts of the agency could use a different way of thinking or doing things, could use more resources or transformation as it comes in different forms. So I chose to call this deputy director a chief transformation officer, so that when this person walks into the room, everybody knows, oh, that's the CTO. We got it. I better think differently about this. She's going to ask me how what I'm doing is transforming something. It's that immediate impression of transformation when this person is in the room that I wanted to create. And it's more than just change management, right? That's something that you hear about a lot and we talk about a lot and is necessary for a lot of different reasons. I wanted a chief transformation officer to bring a permanent sense of transition, because like it or not, friends and colleagues, there's always transition, right? In our lives, in government service, especially where we have transitions in governor's administrations, in our Senate and House leadership, and in our own agency leadership. It is a fact of life that if we are prepared with the skills to navigate that change, we can really be transformative, right? And not just deal with each individual change in a change management way when it comes, but be prepared enough and skillful enough to ride the waves of all of those changes along the way, and create more stability. That really is what my main end goal is here, is that sense of stability for DES by creating a chief transformation officer. So let's get into it. Pam, hello. Hello. I just lost my cues, my questions. Okay, I got them. Let's start with like the basics first, Pam. What is transformation anyway?
That's a great question, Tara. And I like to start that type of conversation off by saying what transformation is not. Transformation is not the flavor of the day. It is not just doing change for the sake of doing change, for the sake of doing something different. It is really about an evolution from where we are, always seeking and striving and moving towards becoming better. It is really about becoming. It's continuous improvement. It is ongoing, and it doesn't have an end. It is what we do as just, it is part of our DNA to always seek to become better. It's not an add-on, although full transparency, it may feel like that initially, but it's integrating. It is integrating throughout whatever we do, that we are doing it with an eye towards always becoming better. Mm-hmm. And I want to say this last thing, because I think this is so important and reflects what your thinking was, Tara. The commitment to be transformative is in itself transformative. We're already on that path. We're already on the journey.
We're already doing that. I love the way you said that, Pam. It's not this transformation piece. It's not an add-on. It's not an additional thing to do. It's just thinking differently about what we're already doing, right? Yeah, I love your thought leadership, Pam, and the way you help me think about things. So my next question for you is to introduce the OST a little better. The OST, what is the Office of Strategic Transformation that you've created?
So I'm going to go back to something I said, that this is about continuous improvement. And in order to be on the journey of continuous improvement, we have to have baselines established. We have to know where we are now so that we can know how much better we're doing, what our improvement looks like. And then I realized that we need to have a central location, a hub, if you will, to effect the transformation, to deploy the transformation, to be able to capture information, whether it's anecdotal, so it's stories that people tell us, or it's data, or it's the learning, the things that we find out about ourselves as we encounter experiences. We capture that information. It's a way to ensure that that information is captured. And so the Office of Strategic Transformation, or OST, as we call ourselves, and we are also one of those very small but very mighty teams. We're comprised of several components. So there is, and none of these are any more important. They are all equally important. There's communications, which as we were thinking about OST and the segments that we need to have, we thought about we need to ensure that we are able to inform and be consistent with how we are informing about the transformation that is underway, as well as the branding. And then customer experience, whether we are talking about our internal customers or partners or our external partners, is about who we serve. And managing the change, managing the transformation, making certain that everyone understands what we are doing. It's strategy and performance, that team I love so much, and ensuring that they are part and in this role. And then others will periodically show up and take an active role like HR, equity, finance. Tara.
That makes sense, right? So you have a core team, a small core team, communications, S&P, customer experience, and then you bring in other programs as you need them. I've seen that at work. And so what is OST's role in the mission, vision, and values work that we're focused on now?
Mm-hmm. OST is the center entity to really lead off all of the strategic development work, of which the mission, vision, values is the pre-development part of it. And so we've been leading this work with our executive team, leadership team, operations leadership team, and we engage so that we can know how the information, the transformation is being received. We get this feedback, we take it, we integrate it so that we can be sure that we have everyone on board.
And then some, right? That's the short version of the story.
Yes. So, Tara, I'd like to flip the switch and ask you a question. What are some examples of transformational work that you've seen so far?
It feels like a lot and then also nothing at all, right? Like this work does, because it's long-term work, and we are not rushing it. But what I've seen and experienced, especially this past year, is a big focus on One DES, right? That is transformational work. When I got here, I saw silos, yes, and silos are normal to some extent in any organization. But in DES, they were blinding to me as a person at the top who is responsible for all the things, accountable to employees for all the things. I didn't have a line of sight into where we were doing well or not doing well in order to repair or resource those areas. So One DES is the beginning of that effort to integrate the agency better so that we can bring performance management and strategy into our daily work. We're doing a lot at the leadership level of organizational culture work, right? Like, let's figure out what our culture is right now as an agency and where we need to take it. And I think employees later on will begin to see some of that work that we're doing at the leadership level. Role clarity. We do a lot of role clarity work at different levels of leadership. And that's an important building block for the cultural work and for the mission, vision, values, because you need to have healthy leadership teams and a healthy organization for transformation to really be effective and meaningful. And Pam, there's been something on my mind when I think about what needs to be transformed right now, maybe in the short term rather than the long term. I think about some of the feedback that I get from employees. Employees who are brave enough to reach out to me directly, or to use the Talk to Tara button and give me feedback anonymously. And it gives me a sense of what it's really like to work in this agency, because I can't always see that at my level. Or I might feel like we're doing a lot of important good work because we're doing things that aren't yet reaching every level of employees in this agency. So I feel like the sense of belonging we all wish and think we might have, or that we're pushing for, is just not quite there. That employees show up every day in this agency and experience 100 different microaggressions. So how are we leading with love? You know, that value that we've talked a lot about, because people don't think there's a place for leading with love in the workplace. And I couldn't disagree more. When you're leading with love, both with your coworkers and your upline and maybe your downline, you're not creating micro or big aggressions with them, and you're able to talk to them about what your experience is like if you are. So we have work to do in that area. We really do. And we'll talk more, Pam, about how we can transform that amidst all the other things that we're doing to create stability in this agency. But talking about leading with love, wasn't Maurice supposed to do a little something here in this conversation about leading with love? Where in the world is Maurice anyway?
Where's Maurice? Where's Maurice?
And action.
Here's your help with this. This client is waiting in your office for his session. And he states here that his primary concern is not knowing where in the world he is. Have you ever seen that before?
I don't think so, but I should be able to manage it.
Okay, well, just be careful because he seems really lost.
Oh, interesting. Seems really familiar. Hi, Maurice. I'm
Hello.
Nancy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to EAP. What brings you here today?
Well, honestly, I'm not really sure. Find myself roaming around, not always sure where I'm at or even where I'm going.
Well, that's interesting. Well, for starters, we don't lie down on the couch anymore to talk. We sit up. So sit up. That's kind of Freudian old school stuff. Yeah, that's better. That's better. So let's try to figure out where you are and where you're going next. Does your manager know you're here?
No, actually, I don't think so. I mean, she just told me that I needed to go have some fun. It seemed like I wasn't having fun anymore. I didn't seem to know what was going on around me. I didn't know where I was at or where I was going.
Well, then let's start with where you're at right now. At EAP, we have a philosophy, and that is we meet people where they're at. So here you are, you're at the EAP. Let's start there. This is the EAP office, everyone. And it's high time you came to visit. What took you so long?
Well, like I said, sometimes I just get lost. I lose track of time. Then I find out people are talking about me behind my back, saying stuff like, where in the world is Maurice? And then I guess that's why it's taken me so long to come, to come see you here at EAP.
Well, you're here now. So let's celebrate that. Let's consider that a win. So congratulations,
Yeah.
Maurice, you're here.
Awesome. Well, now that I know where I am, maybe you can help me figure out where I'm going. No, wait a second. Groceries, bread, milk, fruit. I was on my way to the grocery store. I'm so sorry. I need to run. Thank you for your time.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Well, aside all kidding, everyone, just know that the EAP, the Employee Assistance Program, is here for you and your family members. we're here to support you and help you navigate through issues in life that may be impacting you at work or in your personal life. Could be issues around anxiety, stress, depression, grief or loss, maybe parenting concerns, or something happening at work. Just know that we're here for you. Check out our resources at eap.wa.gov.
That was awesome. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you so much for helping me find myself. You were so right. EAP is an amazing resource that, it's the goal. It has the goal of promoting workplace well-being. It sounds like a lot like our new agency value, Lead with Love.
Well, we may be some of the experts at leading with love, but anyone can do this. Anyone has the opportunity by assuming good intent in people, maybe by giving people grace or withholding judgment, or just generally caring and appreciating where people are and what they bring to the table.
Exactly right. Leading with Love is about being a good human and showing up in a positive way. So speaking of showing up, you've been showing up for your customers quite a bit these days. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the great things you've been doing here with EAP?
Yeah, so some of you may not be aware, but we're really fortunate to have a new relationship with the big new customer, and that's the University of Washington. So they have 40,000 employees, and when you consider their household members, that's over 100,000 lives that EAP now covers. And what a lot of people don't know is they went out on a nationwide search for an EAP vendor, looking at 20 different organizations, and they chose us. So we're really proud of that, and we have a great working relationship with them already. Another success point that I'd like to let people know is that recently we've updated our telephone lines so that if you try to reach out to us by phone, hopefully our messaging and the experience that you have is consistent and it really guides you in the direction that you need to go in. And then another success that I want folks to know about is that back in September, we were able to take a team of counselors out to Eastern Washington, to Medical Lake. And we met with our client out there, Lakeland Village. And we were able to provide support to folks who had experienced the terrible atrocities and disasters of the wildfires that occurred there. And then finally, I'd like for people to know that EAP gets to talk to the governor as part of the performance review that's public on November 30th, and that's in alignment with Results Washington. And we'll be talking more about how EAP and well-being impacts the employee workforce. So those are just a few of the
That's
things.
amazing, Nancy. So those things that you just laid out, we're expanding our service network. We're providing these amazing services to a bunch more people. We're making it easier for them to access our services through that upgraded telephone line. And you're literally meeting people where they're at, going to Eastern Washington to help people that have recently experienced some sort of tragedy in their lives. So what an amazing resource. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Back to you, Brooke.
You're muted, Brooke.
Jess, we're muted. We good now? Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Maurice. Everybody in the room heard me, so that's good enough, right? Thank you, Maurice, and thank you, Nancy, for sharing your location with us live at EAP today. And so you might have noticed that the kind of common theme that's been woven throughout today's meeting has been a feature of the value Lead with Love. And so for our Inspire section, I'm going to turn it over to Pam, who's going to actually talk a little bit about Lead with Love.
Thank you, Brooke. Although I will have to say it is really hard to have to follow Maurice. And the videos always tickle me so much. As Brooke mentioned, you've probably picked up that we've been talking a lot about leading with love, which is one of our 5 values. And many of you are likely thinking, so what does love have to do with us? Why in the world is a government agency even talking about love in the first place? Well, I thought what I would do to start this brief sharing of inspiration off is go to something that is actually quite boring, and that's a financial and business magazine. And it's called Forbes. Many of you have probably heard of Forbes. They've been in existence for over 100 years, and they feature articles on all kinds of things about finance, industry, marketing, communications, science, and law. They also cover things like technology, personal finance, sports, and they talk about love in the workplace. And so one of the things that I found as I was looking for how to lead off this conversation was this statement that the most important component that you can have for any successful business is love. Yes, love. It's possible to have genuine love for your staff and those you lead without sacrificing the goals of your business. And I'm not talking about, so many people are probably thinking, oh, you know, the warm and fuzzy, is somebody going to come up and hug me? No, what we are talking about is the kind of love that allows your staff to be imperfectly human. I'm going to say that again. It's the kind of love that allows your staff to be imperfectly human. And this is, as I was doing some research, what Forbes says, this business magazine, is the kind of kindness like noticing that somebody's having a bad day or they're feeling overwhelmed with the pressures of life. And that to be successful, we have to consider that our staff, our most important resource, we have to consider the mental health of everyone. And to have a great and a strong organization, employees need to flourish and thrive at work. And that's why we must lead with love. We have to be very intentional about how we show up and how we engage with our staff. So just a couple of thoughts. Leading with love means to show up in transparency and humility in order to engender or garner trust with your team. Who's your work family? Think about it. We spend so much of our waking hours with people who are not part of our biological family. It's our work family. It means listening and acting upon what you learn in order to make things better, not just hearing some voices, wonk, 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 and walking away to the next thing. But it's really about being intentional. Leading with love means actively seeking out others to engage them and learn from them and understand their points of view, even if it doesn't, like, it's completely counter to yours. But it means like actively seeking people out instead of waiting for a team meeting to connect. When I think about leading with love, I'm compelled to reflect on my own behavior, my own thoughts, my own habits, my own attitudes, and consider how I can be a better human being so that I can be a better member of Team 1DES. And speaking about Team 1DES, it means recognizing that people get tired, that there's fatigue, folks tune out, they drop off, and we have to stop to help our own when the time calls for it. Leading with love means no DES team member gets left behind. We slow down and we ensure everyone is on board to go further. Leading with love means taking the time to know the pulse of the team. And it's knowing the mind of the team and the mindset of the team and the heart. Leading with love means showing up to move the rocks out of the way for one another And maybe some of you remember what I'm talking about. And it means even if you have to creep backwards down the mountain trail in order to do it, that you do it. Leading with love is walking the talk, not talking the walk. So when I was asked in this moment of inspiration to talk about the values, I actually thought we were going to start with that first value, be the change, and that we would just kind of go in that order, be the change, embrace the journey, serve with intention, defy convention. But I realized something as I was really considering what does it mean to lead with love? Leading with love actually opens the door for the rest of our values. And that to me is what leading with love means. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I see a lot of comments in the chat about what this means to people and how it lands differently. I wonder, Brooke, how do you feel about opening that up and asking everybody to tell us what does lead with love and at DES in the workplace, like what does that mean to you? I put in the chat something I read recently on this topic, which is that love is described as an energy that uplifts and connects, right? And if that's where we're leading with when we're sitting down with our coworkers or talking to our employees, then what could go wrong if we're focused on uplifting and connecting?
Yeah, the
So
chat
put
is
it in
open.
the
We're
chat.
seeing a lot of great things coming through. So everybody who's willing and has a thought on this, we'd love to collect those.
I can't see the chat. I don't know.
Jess, can you put the chat up for people in the room?
Yeah, you could put on this, share the screen. Go WLP. Workforce and learning.
Compassion, humanity, empathy, seeing lots of great things.
Humanity, right? Like let's see each other as the human beings that we are first, right? And the things that we bring to the workplace every day. Life is hard. That's
So
leading
in
with love.
the definition you put in the chat, Tara, it talked about connection. And so
Yeah.
I'd like for us to leave off with an opportunity to connect just a little bit more like we did as we led into the meeting. And so I've got John on the technology back end here, and I'm going to ask if he's able to open it back up so people can turn on their cameras and have that uplifting of that connection that comes through. So hopefully everybody will get a prompt or it will show that you're now able. Yes, here we go. Excellent.
We're turning on the room camera. Yeah, you're on.
Perfect. Yeah, everybody who's willing and able, please come on screen. Let us all see you connect together, be uplifted by each other.
Yeah, this does it, right? All these faces. How many people do we have?
22.
I can't tell.
There are
400 last time I checked.
Yeah, there were 400 at some point. We got had people drop off a little bit maybe for other meetings. We currently have 372 people on the call.
And 22.
Oh my gosh,
And
I love
Carrie
it.
says 22 in the room, so right at about 100 people. And,
And
that's
other
like
watch parties
watching
happening.
together.
Yep.
So Tara, I'm going to turn it over to you for this last comment.
Oh, okay, folks. Well, it's that time. It's that time to get back to work and lead with love while you're doing it.
That's not very loving.
No, just kidding. there's a time for rest and fun. And I think all of you are inviting me to your holiday parties coming up. So I'm looking forward to that. And where's the DJ when we need them?
Oh, right here. Goodness gracious. This is
Did we lose DJ Ty?
So
We've got DJ Niket today.
I'm
DJ
failing
Niket.
DJing today.
Both of our machines have been going a little wonky. Teams has not been friendly today.
It happens. We forgive you with love.
Perfection.
Oh, that was so much fun. Thank you. Thank you.
That's the song. Have a great day, everybody.
Have a great afternoon, everyone.